Good morning, everybody. Got a fresh week. Let me get focused. Make sure my sound levels and everything are good to go. Alright, sounds good. Alright, let's get on with it. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let me get all this other stuff out the way. Alright, let's go ahead and check out our pre-market insight. Alright, so for our economic calendar, today we got existing home sales at 10. Tomorrow we have new home sales, and then Wednesday, core durable goods with crude oil inventories. Thursday we got GDP and initial jobless claims, and then Friday, I got it right now, it's no significant events, but I did hear word on the street is Powell is supposed to be speaking on Friday. I didn't really get any clear confirmation. The calendar that I normally use it doesn't have anything, like it was blank. It was weird. I don't know why Friday was like completely blank from the calendar that I normally use, and I tried to look at other calendars, and there was just no consistency. So I will check it back, later on in the week. So just be aware that Fed Chair Powell could be speaking on Friday. I haven't really confirmed that yet. I saw it on one calendar, but I need a little more confirmation than that. So I keep that in the back of my mind for I probably set an alert or some kind of reminder to check that on Friday, just to make sure I know we know if that's going to happen and what time, if it does happen. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our NQ future sessions power range. We got a high of 15,120 3/4 with a low of 15,87.5. Trading neutral, up 0.24% with a low volume of 59K and a interesting ATR of 180 flat. So I don't really know how I feel about this market today for this to be to have this kind of low volume over the weekend, and we didn't really have any real energy, but we are trying to push back into new all-time highs if we look at this on from a daily perspective. So we are trying to break into new highs, so that could be a reason for the low energy and the low volume. So we'll see how this thing opens up and get a pulse of what's possible for the day. So with the rest of the market, it's pretty much the same thing across the board. Not a ton of energy and not a ton of volume. Mostly trading neutral with ES. Of course, these other index futures are not near their all-time highs. They're still within their range. They all have very similar daily price action or structure. Sideways with RTY and YM as well. Let's check out crude. Let's see what crude is doing. A lot of bulls with the oil this morning. Got some nice consistent bullish price action with CL, even though it's from a daily, it's selling off hard back to the 200 SMA. Where there was balance, it had some consolidation to where it's trading back into, but so far this morning it looks bullish. All right, no, this is gold that I'm looking at now, but make sure I saw that right. Yep, up 2 point. Yeah, okay. So GC has pretty much the same price action as CL. I'm gonna assume that Euro is pretty much the same. E6. Yep. Nice little bearish channel for 60 or E6, the Euro currencies. All right, so we got crude, gold, and the currencies, the Euro currencies. Got some bullish, slightly bullish action with those, and our index futures are not really doing much of anything. So that's our futures market pulse. Let me go ahead and make sure I get all my checklists done with my morning routine and checklist. I said checklist twice. So the power thing is going to be a Zoom meeting. All right, cool. I just need a confirmation on the time. The one calendar I saw it on, it was at 10 a.m. but it wasn't clear if that was Eastern time or if that was Eastern time or Central. I know a lot of times those calendars are set on Chicago's time zone. All right. Go ahead and turn the screen. Make sure I'm recording this as well. This all day, but I also think this is part of the design confusion. Clear for everyone as the week. Yeah, they do that a lot with Powell stuff. Sometimes they just put our FOMC stuff, the stuff that really can, well, the stuff that they use to really bring a lot of volatility into the market. Sometimes they put it like it's tentative or something crazy, or they may change the time at the last minute. Definitely agree on that design confusion. Alright, make sure we are ready to go. In fact, which one is this one? I can close this window down. Triangle offense over here. Got about 3 minutes to the bell. Just making sure I got everything set up correctly. myself, and the only goal is to trade the strategy to perfection. Always see the big picture, pull that trigger, and I got sim mode off. Let's not forget about my screenshot. Coming down to our last minute, still holding the range. We do got above us the 146 balance level. Right now we're trading, it's a lot of noise in this, of course, because we're just trading sideways for a while, or since the European session, being held up by the our PR high. Not giving a whole lot of weight to the indicators, just looking at the price action at this point, the structure, and the structure of the volume by price. The structure and volume, of course, is in line. Got a VPOC right in the middle. Just making sure I'm aware of the environment that I'm trading in. All right, here's our open. That did paint for a bullish push. A break higher. I'm watching that 124 range. Our session high is around 153, 154. Actually 153 and 3/4 exactly. My cursor just snapped to there. See if we can break these pivots right at our PR +1. Then we also got our balance level with volume at 146, where we can expect to see some sort of reaction. Do have sellers coming in there. Brief tug of war, where our buyers are slowly pushing through and making an attempt to push through. We'll be looking for a micro retest of that resistance that we just broke out of at a minimum. I'll let this first 3-minute candle close. Less than a minute. Coming up to our session high. Of course, we're gonna have some short setting up there as well. We do have traders that just short the edges of the session range. But our buyers are pushing, they coming through strong. ton of momentum here at the open. Kind of feel like it may not. We are getting volume coming in here, of course, at 160. Seeing a lot of selling. Push this back to retest where we just came from. Where's my stop loss? Oops. Right, we're at balance level. That's about 50% of that buying that came in at the open. Have to kill that one because I don't think that seems like that didn't work correctly. Let's see. There was an extra order in there that I don't know where it came from, so that's why I had to go ahead and just kill it and see what's going on there. Matter of fact, let me throw this in sim real quick, because that was strange. And I'm just gonna okay, so for some reason my stop losses is separate, which that's not how it's supposed to be. I don't know how that happened, so let me go ahead and fix that. You see what happened over the weekend. I was upgrading one of my strategies for a bigger position size, and I guess for some reason in this instance it doesn't have my triangle offense set up saved correctly. So for now, just gonna remove these two. Those are all OCO groups. We should fix that. Make sure I save that. Really sucks I had to kill it, because if I wasn't focused on it like I needed to be, and I didn't know what was going on, so I had to kill it. That would have been a nice move. And I missed it in the other. All right. But what I've definitely learned is better when you have stuff like that that's not working out as it's supposed to. It's just best to just get straight out of it and then figure out whatever's going on. It's a beautiful thing about the market. It's going to be open again. And I got a lot of hours in the day, so don't have to catch them all. You just need to be focused and stay consistent. For the ones that you can catch. That was a nice little retest off the balance level. So we got a couple spikes of volume at 168. We got one at 176. Also seeing where our sellers are coming in at 181. I'm sure we do have some shorts that are squeezing this momentum, this bullish momentum. And applying pressure, trying to take us back down. So it'll be interesting to see if we have how this plays out. Now we can break the high of this, so we would have some more shorts that are squeezed. If we can trade above, what's that, 185? Just the way that printed on the 1 minute. However, I do see it coming as having a pullback. But we do have sellers that's piling in right here in this range between 184 and we just call it 175. Now I say we have selling that, of course it has to be both sides. You gotta have buyers and and sellers to move price. But the way that I'm seeing this price action, there were some shorts that are there were some selling in that range. More than likely we had from that could be profit taking and some shorts trying to catch the top. And we are seeing them, this is the squeeze happening right now. We're getting a little bit of follow through. Of course, I don't expect it to push that strongly beyond that, but anything can happen. Next balance level is at 198 and a quarter, where I could expect to see some more selling. Our shorts are pushing back. What I'm also reading this is, since we did see buyers coming here at 174, if we can manage to roll back over to that level, I would expect some more buyers to be there. It hasn't set up for me to be able to play that level aggressively yet, so I need to let this 3-minute period close. So the way that printed, we should see a rollover. And if not, we can hang out sideways or continue chopping higher. price is stalling up here. It shows us that we do have participation on both sides in this range. Still not the best setup for me, but I still would expect to see some buyers at 174. For this on the daily, it is shaping up to be a flag pattern. We can have some accumulation above 174 or 175. Very interesting 3-minute inside candle or inside pair, being how extended we are. Now mind you, I'm definitely not interested in taking any breakouts with, and with the way that this is printed out, has printed so far. My thing is always to look for a pullback. I've pretty much completely removed breakouts from my plan at this point. It has to be like a really good setup for me to take a breakout. From what I've seen, from what I've witnessed from memory in my trading window lately, this market hasn't really been the best for breakout trades. So as I say that, it looks like it's trying to break into new session highs. Which, if it does, it can go as far as it wants to go. That's not part of my plan, so I have to wait for it. I have to wait for my setup. We don't chase. It's looking very trappish at this point. We'll see how eager our buyer is to step in here at this relatively high of a price. Stopped at our 198.25 balance level, almost to the tick. Stopped slightly short of it. Making an attempt to roll over. Seeing a lot of buying, even though there is a lot of selling up here as well. So we got this nice little tug of war action up here in this range. It's a quick little flag pattern on the 1 minute. is another painted picture for a break higher. Again, we have our selling on that 198 and a quarter level. So our sellers are really applying the pressure here. Those that hasn't been squeezed from trying to short earlier, or squeezed out of their positions from trying to short earlier. So for right now, they're holding price above 190. Not a whole lot of energy in this price action. Making another attempt to break. Sellers are doing their best to keep that from happening. We do have plenty of supply up here, which is buyers are not able to get any follow through on that break. It made a quick little attempt, about a tick or two. Before we got a quick push back to 190, but still got our buyers in here. Really testing the supply. Creating this small pennant pattern. The longer we keep price held up in this range, the more power that gives to either side that actually gets to break out of this range and get followed through. My bias is short, of course, because I want to pull back to be able to take a position. Actually, with that being said, let's strengthen. So there's the break. Sellers finally ran out of supply. Of course, the higher this we go, the more extended we go beyond where we came from, which is pretty much took off from VWAP and never really looked back. The weaker these squeezes are going to be, like, to the point where you really almost can't call it a squeeze. So I'm not surprised by that quick sell-off from that break higher. But of course, we know at some point we do have to bring prices back to the mean. But of course, that is the key thing to know there, is that which we don't know is when. Quick little retest. So we still got people, our participants are still interested in buying up here. This could also be the buying that we're seeing could be just a quick profit taking or covering from the shorts that jumped in right up there at PR plus 3. So far in today's session, the price action has been mechanical. Getting good reactions to my levels. Good reaction to historical structure. So at this point, I'm not necessarily worried about how high this could go. At this point, I'm looking for an extended period of accumulation or some significant pullback. got some volume points of interest at 185 and 180 and at 175. Because right now there's also 195, but that's what price is currently, and I don't like it at this level personally. Still seeing buyers sitting at that same range that we just came out of. We can also see with the volume profile that peak is growing, and we can definitely, the main thing that I'm looking at, of course, is the price action. You see how buyers step in at that level every single time, or in that range. Created another flag pattern on the 1 minute, giving us price action like it wants to break higher. The way that printed on the 3 minute also, it looks like it's printed like it wants to break higher. Like I said before, I'm definitely not interested in it breaking higher, as in me participating in that break if it does happen. Also, we have at this time, what is it, home sales at 10. Let's see if that can bring some energy, some directional energy into the market. Only had 93,000 transactions traded in that first 30-minute period. Again, we're trying to break higher. There, we got a strong break. So at this point, if I'm short, I'm really feeling the pressure at this point. If I was able to hold, depending on where I attempted to short in the beginning, I'm sweating at this point. If I'm trying to short this and really hold it and really try to push back against our buyers, if I haven't been stopped out already, and they're really getting squeezed at this point. They're forced out of their hands, running the stops. Got some more buyers jumping in here, of course, trying to take the break higher. Very interesting price action this morning on this low volume. Got a participant in here that's had an agenda, and they're gonna do everything they had to do to make that agenda play out. Doesn't necessarily mean it's like just one person. It could be a group of people with it's playing on the same sheet of music, working together. Teamwork makes the dream work. We're definitely seeing one side of the market really be aggressive this morning with low participation. If I got a big hand, I see that, and I come in here and I'm just waiting for the open. Most big hands don't wait for the open to trade, but if I'm looking at it like that, and I come in and I see that the market is low on volume, low on participation, and I got a lot of sides to move, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do what I can to try to make it interesting, or to get the appeal of extra participants coming into the market. So I'm gonna play my hand in a way that's gonna move the price back and forth, get other people excited to jump in, just so when I start to put my plan into play, I need the other side, so I can get paid. That's really the best way to put it. But yeah, if I came in here and I got a nice sizable hand and I'm trying to, that I gotta move in and out of the market quickly, low volume is something that would excite me, because I know I don't have a big hand on the other side of that, or I don't have a lot that's gonna go against me, depending on how much of a big hand I have. And of course, you gotta understand the probabilities of it working out too. So I'm trying to briefly explain an idea that's kind of complex and would actually take a lot of time to really break down. And we're still making attempts to push higher. At this point, I don't think I'm really gonna get another play. I only have about 10 minutes in my window. I do remember a time where this would have been frustrating for me, the fact that I wasn't able to fully let that first play, play out. And then how, I wasn't able to catch another position. But, my motto is, trades are not Pokemon. You don't have to catch them all. So I know that the market will be open again tomorrow if I don't get another one today. And it could have been a lot worse. I could have taken a loss there when I was confused and didn't understand. I was trying to figure out why the strategy didn't play, or why the orders wasn't in there like they were supposed to be, or where that extra order was coming from. Right, when I was trying to figure that out, it could have ended up in a significant loss. So once you zoom out and get out of the moment. That does help. And you look at the bigger picture, that does help with the emotional side of trading. It's a popular saying with sports, where they just say next play. If you're struggling, you done had some turnovers, you done messed up some plays, missed some opportunities, you gotta forget about it and just go to the next play. So that's gonna be our motto for the day, is next play, which to me looks like next play is gonna be tomorrow, because we're getting down to the end of my window today. Matter of fact, that's the title of today's stream. See, I didn't even put that in the journal earlier. It completely threw me off. Made a whole $6. That in there later. Alright, so looks like our buyers are running out of steam again. Of course, there's been a lot of profit taking up here in these highs. And I definitely expect our buyers to cover now. Those that took the break. And I'm sure we had some, it's highly possible that we still have some buyers from our open that will also be taking some more profit up here. Which gives us just a couple of levels for a pullback, which is the 220 range, as well as the range between PR plus 3 and the balance level of 198. We are too close to, I have to, by my rules, I have to go ahead and cancel that order. I definitely would expect to see if we make it back down within this range. I would expect to see some latecomer buyers try to jump in there. And try to play a quick bounce. And also, since we do have a whole number at 15,200, that's a psychological area where we can expect to see some participation or some sort of reaction. And yet it looks like we still have aggressive buying up here at 223. unless we have some shorts trying to dig themselves out of the hole and just take some quick plays, some quick money off the table. For sure. At 207 or 208, we'll just call it 208. We definitely had some shorts that were squeezed out of that level, just because how we saw it play out. We saw there were shorts trying to push price lower. We saw some selling there, and then how strongly that broke out of that range. You know, that's nothing but a nice little, you know, short squeeze. So we could have some more shorts trying to, those that may have been squeezed out of this position here, just trying to dig themselves out of the hole there, which will also create what appears to be aggressive buying at 223 or 222. There we go, right back up towards the session highs. Now I'll be highly surprised if we break again into new session highs. I want to sit here. I'm outside of my trade window, but I want to see how this next couple of minutes play out. At least I'm gonna watch this next 3-minute period. See what happens. And also keeping we are in new all-time high area. So I'm definitely interested to see how the rest of this day plays out. So we do have our sellers definitely trying to short this again. And to see how our sellers continue to step in at the high of this small range, at the high of this flag pattern. In the 235 range. We still got our aggressive buyers sitting in here. So our buyers are really aggressive today. I don't think we've seen this kind of price action in a while. Even with the ES has a lot of aggressive buying in it as well. Alright, so here's another attempt to break higher. Sell side stepping in again. And if you have a scalping strategy, this is great price action to trade, especially if you're trading with the trend. Because it's very mechanical. They're sticking to the levels almost to the tick. So you can trade inside of these little ranges. You can leave unless you want to just leave one on, depending on how your position size. You can forget about the breaks and just wait for the range wait to see buyers and sellers on two opposing ends. Wait to see the end and just play the range. So they may hold price here for a while. I'm not gonna sit here and just try to wait to see how they're gonna come out of this range. So with all that being said, it looks like we're trying to break higher again, and there it is. As I say that, another break higher. So with all that being said, that's a good place for me to end my session for the day. I'll come back later and check on it and see how it's playing out. But I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Hope y'all making a lot of money out there, taking advantage of these aggressive buyers and this aggressive buyer. And I will see y'all on Wednesday. Trade it easy.